Mining job hunt video. Welcome to Australian Mining for New Starters, and in today's video we're going to do another job collection video for the Underground Training website in their Mining Jobs to Apply For page. So we're going to type Underground into Seek and we're going to have a look through the jobs. So I hope everybody's been well on the last week. I was trying to do one in the middle of the week, but I couldn't get it done. Again, this is one of these common providers that is always looking for people. That's why I haven't collected that one. But we will have a look at that one. That's Bendigo. Coursefield. Bendigo. Yep, we'll have that one. So that's for people in Victoria. They don't come up, jobs don't come up very often in Victoria. So that's a good one to jump onto. Glencore Underground Operations, that is coal. Experienced truck operators, pit and portal. Now we've already talked about this on the channel before. All these employers want experienced truck drivers. What main reason being is that it costs a fair bit of money to train somebody up on the truck, but also the loss in production time while you're training them. And so if they can get somebody that's already trained up, then it saves them a lot of money. Now, the reality of the situation, and Burncut are doing it too, the reality of the situation is that there's not many people that are looking to move sideways in the industry at the moment. Everybody's looking to move up. So if you've got 12 months truck driving experience under your belt, most people are looking for that service crew or pace crew job. And even Barminco are advertising for it. So, a truck job in New South Wales. These guys are really good. They've taken a number of people from the training now, which is great. And it just goes to show with the training as well that, you know, if you know what's going on, then you've genuinely got something to offer the employers. So, blast crew. And we'll have a look at our map at the end of the session, so we can have a look at where all the jobs are around the country. And I just wanted to have a bit of a quick talk about careers when we have a look at that job map, so it's worth hanging around for that. Experienced underground haulage operators. So that's in Queensland, and again, you know, everybody's looking for experience for truck drivers, but anybody with any experience on a truck that doesn't particularly want to be a truck driver, because there are some people that want to be truck drivers, and there's nothing wrong with that. But in Hard Rock Underground, truck driving is entry level, and it's the lowest paid rung on the ladder, and that's why people want to move on to service crew because it pays more, and then on to charge up in the bogger, or on to pace crew or shotcrete crew. That all pays a lot more than the truck does. That's one page down. Let's have a look. There's quite a few on that page. Bogger operators, entry level. Niche, again, niche is one of those ones that are always looking. Cable bolt operator, production drillers, pace crew. We'll have a go at that. Pace crew isn't always entry level, but you know, if you've done the sponsors training and you've got a trade behind you, we've had a few people that have got plastering experience and concreting experience get into pace crew straight away because they did the sponsors training. Mine assistant Glencore. Oh, I've already looked at that. They're looking for bogger operators. It's funny how Glencore sometimes do this stuff around Mount Isa. When you have a look at the ad, it goes into which level it's on. And the ones that they've got around there are all for bogger operators and charge up people. But that is an underground truck job, and that is in and out of Cairns and Townsville. So if you're up that way, there are a lot of jobs up there. But again, you know, these jobs, the reason why all these jobs keep coming up is because they have a significant turnover of new starters, unfortunately. Kelly and Road Operators. Go. Pacefill Operator. McMahon's. There we go. That one as well. And like anything else with the training, once you've completed that, you should be applying for all the jobs, the truck, offsider, service crew, nipper. Even if it asks for experience, it's a really good idea to throw your hat in the ring. We have a lot of people that have gotten jobs before where they've applied for one job, and the company's called them up and said, we can't give you that job, but would you like a nipper's job? Or we can't give you that job, would you like a truck driver's job? Okay, underground. Agitator, local solution. Yeah, we'll have a look at that. Agi job underground. Always a good way to get in. But if you do go for the Agi job underground, just be aware that it involves being all over the mine. So you've got to know what's going on. That's why they go through so many people, because it's really hard. The Agi job's easy. You know, you guys come in and used Agis before, you know how it all works. What makes it complicated is working out where and how and what's going on around you. And that's why they go through a lot of people, because if you can't get your head around how the mine works, you can't drive the Agi underground to where it's got to go. That means you're not going to last very long. Or you're going to need a babysitter. And the longer you need a babysitter, the more chance is that you're not going to make it. I don't mean to be cruel with any of this stuff. I'm just trying to give people an accurate representation of what they're getting themselves into. The bogger operator job for a couple of $100,000 a year. Production operators. Until page 5. Agi driver, McMahon's. And it pays really well, the Agi driver too, especially with some of the companies that are going around, because you can see in the ad, from here it was 47 to 51 an hour. You know, that's really good money for starting. Okay, we'll collect that job. That looks like it's entry level as well for working in the room. Cobra. It's that same pit tram operator. So you're just keeping a track of where all the trucks are and where they're going and what they've got in the back of them and all that sort of wonderful stuff, which normally is an entry level job. Raceport drillers. 6. Trainer assessor, production operators. Raceport drillers. Technician. Fitters. Diamond Driller. Field service. Underground graduate mining engineer. One of the ones for the boys. So I'll put that in our graduate mining engineer column. We have a fair few graduate mining engineers that follow the channel. Shout out to everybody. Fitters, production engineer, drill assistant surface. And I'm collecting this one because it's Port Longyear, which is one of the companies. So they're the owner. They're not they're not just getting you in for the labour hire. They're actually the company that owns everything. So yeah, that's why I load these ones up, and you'll notice that this is the same job that was we collected last week. So they're looking every week. If it's something that you want to do, if you don't want to go underground, then surface offsiding is a really good place to go, because that's where they need a lot of people. And if you really commit to it and you have a go, then a lot of people are drilling within 12 to 18 months these days, just because there's so much stuff going on. So grader operator at Nickel West, that's underground, we'll have that one. Just be aware too that the reason that these guys are wearing masks in this photo isn't because of COVID. It's because Nickel West, in their underground mines, they've got some contaminants down there, and it's a clean shave policy, and you've got to wear your dust mask for the whole 12 hours. There's no choice. It's mandatory, and it was like that before COVID well and truly hit. It's been like that for years, and for good reason, because of the contaminants in the air down there. But they enforce it strictly, so just be aware of that. Engineering, mechanical apprenticeship. Yeah, so that's coal. Look at that. Surface offsider job, diesel fitter. Truck operators. What was that? Yeah, it was like coal as well. Again, one survey. Page number 9. As you can see, the 7 days, there's over 750 jobs, so there's lots to go through. And so we'll probably stop at page number 10 or 12 like we have been. Trades assistant. So that's for ruck, so that's for the workshop. So that's really rare to find one of these jobs like this. So we'll put that down there in the mills job. Because normally with a trades assistant, there's only a couple of them on site, because you don't need as many as if you're doing a shutdown job or something like that. Drillers offsiders, Swick. So these guys hire a lot of people, and when they train you, they've got a good facility here in Perth where they put you in a sweat box basically, make sure that you're up to the task. But like anything else, if you it's all about knowing what you're getting yourself into and knowing what the rules are. So that's where the sponsors training comes into it. If you just jump into it green, all these companies have a huge turnover rate. But if you go in knowing what's going on, chances of succeeding are really high. Whereas if you don't, the industry average is more than 50% fail, unfortunately. And that's just not with the hard rock underground jobs, that's with the surface offsiding jobs as well. And a lot of the jobs, on the mills and around the place, a lot of people fail because they just don't understand what they're getting themselves into, and it all becomes too real too fast, and they put their hand up and say, "Get me the hell out of here." Well, that's not what they actually say. I'm not going to say what they actually say because I'm trying to keep some of these things clean. Okay, so gold room operator, we'll have that one. That can go into the mill. And if you don't want to work underground and you want to work on the surface and you don't want to go exploration, I know a lot of guys that are making a lot of money on the mill. You don't get there straight away. You've got to put your time in like everything else. But if you do, then chances are that you'll end up making between 150 and 200,000 a year, and you can make a lot of money doing that over a lot of years. It's just all about finding out what's good for you. Number 11. Principal mining engineer. Platinum blasting services. Open pit intake goldfields. I already loaded that job up actually on the page, on the Facebook page as well. So if you're looking for that job, it's already on the Facebook page, Australian Mining for New Starters. trainer assessor, experienced, mining engineer, leading hand, political operator. Oop, went too far. Number 12, we're starting to dwindle a bit here. We'll go and do some more, a couple more pages, and then, where are we? Well, we're already at the 16-minute mark of the video. Once I take my sneezing attack out that I had about 10 minutes ago, I will, I'm sure the video will be a bit shorter. I won't subject you to all that. My wife loves that when I can't control my sneezing. Especially in the middle of a supermarket with everything that's been going on around at the moment. Get some sideways looks. Codia 13. Drillers Offsiders. Drillers Assistants. Blast Crew. Safety and Training. Maintenance. Richard Fitter Workshop. We'll go for one more and we'll have a look, and then we'll have a look at our map, and I'll have a talk about the careers that I wanted to have a talk about there before. So let's have a look at this one. Operator, shift boss, processing shift boss. So that's for the mill, but that's not an entry level. Trainer assessor, Drillers Offsider, Olympic Dam. We'll have a go at that one. That one will be an underground one as well as an exploration. So I will put it in both places, so people have access to it twice. It should make it good. And see what I mean? That, you know, we found that on page 14. So you really need to have a look through all this. It's a processing operator's job. Mill job. Collect that one for those that want to have a go at the surface. Around Norseman. Platinum. Mining engineer. Coal though. Oh, we found one, so we better have another look on the next page. Drillers Offsiders. Service person. Trade assistant. Kalgoorlie. Technical staff. Alright. So we'll finish this one up, and we will have a look at our map. So this is the map that I've done up with all the mines around the country that are producing stuff that goes into the batteries and gold. Now, why am I doing batteries and gold and not iron ore and coal? Well, iron ore, they're all going driverless, so they're well and truly through halfway of getting rid of all the truck drivers. Most of the companies want their truck drivers gone either by the end of this year, next year, or 2024, depending which one of the big three you're talking about. And coal, one of the reasons I don't do coal is because this is the graph on coal, on the coal price for the last 10 years. Now you can see this is when the rationalisation started back in the end of 2018, early 2019, and all the coal mines shut and put, you know, 2/3 of the people out of work. And that's when we had the spicy flu started, and this is when China decided not to unload all the coal and accept coal, and this is when the war in Ukraine happened. Now, the issue is that all those things are going to correct, and this price is going to come back down to this area down here. Now, when it does, it's anybody's guess how many of these coal mines are going to remain open, but everything that's opened at the moment and everything they're ramping up at the moment isn't going to be like that in the future. So if you get on as a coal mining job at the moment, then you might have 12 months, you might have 18 months, but you're not going to have any more than 3 years, because everybody's trying to shut coal down around the world because coal's bad for the planet, according to people. So that's what led us to this point here, and that's what led all through here, not doing very much. And, it rationalised the industry. And when this price comes back down again, it's going to rationalise out. And, are you in mining for a long-term career, or are you in it for 5 minutes? If you're in it for 5 minutes, then coal and iron ore as a production truck driver could be the way to go. But if you want a long-term career out of it, then hard rock underground is the place to be. And the way you can do that is you can have a look at the sponsors training, the DIY training that they do. It teaches you everything that the employer wants you to know. It's got full resume instructions. So for the price of, people are charging $500, $600, $700, $800 for resumes. For the price of our DIY, you get the instructions on how to redo your resume in the back of the training here. Not only do you get trained on how it works, so you've got something to offer the employers, it also does interview prep and teaches you how to redo your resume, and there are places to apply to. So like this job hunt video is a perfect example of that. All these jobs that I've collected on this video, you're going to be able to apply for once you finish the sponsors training, and have a real shot at getting and keeping the job, because that's the important thing. But like I said, there's jobs all around the country. If you're in Tasmania, there's a fair bit of stuff going on down there. I loaded some truck driving jobs up last week, and the mine on King Island is trying to ramp up at the moment. We loaded some Victorian jobs up today. There's a heap of stuff in the middle of New South Wales. You can drive in and out of Melbourne. It's all drive in and out. So people drive in and out of Melbourne, Sydney and Brisbane into these mines, and then back again. If you're in Brisbane, obviously you've got this to drive in and out to, but you've also got everything to fly in and out up in the north of the state. So around Mount Isa and Townsville, Charters Towers. If you're in Townsville, then you've got all the stuff that's across here to either drive in and drive out. And we loaded a couple of truck driving jobs up that are in and out of Townsville and Cairns there today. Darwin, you've got Tanamite in the middle, and you've got Savannah's here, and there's a couple of other big gold mines down here that are drive in, drive out. Obviously, South Australia's got Olympic Dam and Promenade Hill. They're the two big spots. But, if you really want a job, and you want a job, in a couple of weeks' time, then the best place to go is Kalgoorlie. There's heaps that's fly out of Perth at the moment. But if you really want a job, my recommendation always is to do the sponsors training and make sure you understand it, and then, jump in the car and head to Kalgoorlie. Now, if you're not sure about what's going on, I just want people to have a look at this page too that we did not too long ago. It's about doing your research. We did about 10, they got me to do about 10 videos. They're only 5-minute videos, and they just go into what's going on in the industry, what you need to know about tickets and procedures. For the last time, the S11 is only for coal in Queensland. If you do your S11, you can't use that for a coal mining job in New South Wales or anywhere else in the country, and you don't need it for any of the hard rock jobs. If you call up, a mine site in West Australia and say, I've just done my S11, they'll say, S what? And, the same goes in Queensland. You don't need it for any of the hard rock jobs around Charters Towers or around Mount Isa. You just don't need it. So they're all the videos that you can watch to help you through it all. So I hope you found that interesting. Oh, and the other last thing was that if you want to follow us, we've started up on Twitter. So they've got Australian Mining for New Starters on Twitter. So we're posting everything up there as well. So if you want to follow us on Twitter, because apparently Elon freed the bird. So I'm told. I've got no idea about that, but I'm learning as I go. But anyway, I hope you found that video helpful. And like I said, it's another collection video, so there's a lot of jobs up there. And the best way, if you're trying to get into the industry, is to educate yourself about how the mine works, because that's when you really start offering the employers something. Teaching you how to drive the truck, That's the easy bit. Teaching you enough so you can be left alone in the truck to drive the truck by yourself, that's the hard thing. So if you already pitch up to the employer knowing enough about how the mine works so they're confident once they can teach you how to drive the truck, they're going to be able to leave you alone, you've generally got something to offer them. So like I said, I hope that you found that information helpful. And if you've got any more questions about the industry, or you've got want to talk about what's going on, you can get in contact with me through the Facebook page or the YouTube channel, or you could go over and leave a website contact form on the Underground Training page. Apart from that, if you could like and subscribe to the channel and share this information around, that would be wonderful. Thanks.